So I'm going to show some close-ups of the faces. This is the female face, and the close-up of that, showing more of the details. Now I've used bright color tones, especially red, to emphasize the importance of the area in terms of the composition, which is the portrait. Although it's attached to the figures, it's still the concept of focusing in on the features, the portrait of what I've done, of the male and the female. So what those bright colors are focusing on, or allowing you to focus on the key features that I want you to look at. And of course, the overall thing in terms of the composition deals with a symmetrical design where I have a figure on the right side, a figure on the left side. So that's symmetrical design composition. I've used verticals, horizontals, circular movement. I love triangles because that type remind me of the Kemet and the Kush that used these great pyramids and building them to be symbolic of studying the planets, Orion belt, stars, the moon. Also the pyramid, Great Pyramid, was that of an energy type form, vibrating, that all the people that lived in those areas could profit from that high form of vibration. So it's not what usually the so-called old traditional archaeologists refer to as. And of course, here it is. This is one of the glorious period that we find in Scotlandville, which is creative, the arts, philosophy, religion. We've had many glorious periods. Timbuktu in Ghana. We've had the Great Wall of Zimbabwe. So we see what the African has produced, and of course we know about the Kush Empire and the Kemet. But we've had great civilization and empires all over. Dogon is a great site for learning as well, because they've discovered now that these were people that were forced to leave Kemet once the Arab comes in and allegedly to help, and of course they never leave, so you get the concept of the sideline of them being invaded and conquered, and of course they're still there. Nothing to do with the great empire of Kush, Kemet, that has been produced. That's an African concept and tradition. So there it is, my male and female. Perfect balance. Anytime you leave off half of your, you leave the female off or the male off, you have half of the power and force that is divided. So one thing that the Scotlandville did was unified the balance with the male and female. As a matter of fact, the female were the goddesses. They were the one that would rule. They were in charge of the spiritual aspect. And they were highly respected because they were able to create both male and female. And that was godlike in itself. And that's why the Ackerman admired the female and treated her as an equal. And sometimes she was treated above the male because of what she was able to do, creating the male and female, which is a whole creative process that as the creative energy would do.